The story of the Chevrolet Chevelle SS begins in the early 1960s, when American automakers were caught in the heat of a horsepower race. Pontiac had already sparked a muscle car revolution with the GTO, and Chevrolet needed an answer that could both compete and capture the imagination of young drivers hungry for speed. In 1964, Chevrolet introduced the Chevelle as a mid-size car, positioned between the smaller Chevy II and the larger Impala. To make it stand out, they offered the Super Sport SS package, which transformed an ordinary family car into a performance machine. The earliest Chevelle SS models came with distinctive SS badging, sporty trim, bucket seats, and performance-oriented options. At first, the engines weren't earth-shattering, but by 1965, Chevrolet introduced the SS 396, featuring a big block V8 that produced 375 horsepower, and suddenly the Chevelle SS had real muscle car credibility. It wasn't just another car, it was a bold statement of power. By the late 1960s, the Chevelle SS had evolved into one of the most respected names in performance. Chevrolet's decision to expand engine choices gave buyers a wide range of thrills, from small block V8s for everyday use to roaring big block monsters for enthusiasts who live a quarter mile. The Chevelle SS 396 became a legend, with its deep growl, impressive torque, and aggressive styling that set it apart from its competitors. Chevrolet marketed the SS as a car that gave you the thrill of a sports car, but the practicality of a mid-size sedan, making it accessible to a wider audience. Unlike some muscle cars that sacrifice comfort for speed, the Chevelle SS struck a balance. It could haul a family during the week and dominate drag races on the weekends. This versatility made it incredibly popular among American drivers and ensured its place in the growing muscle car movement. The high point of this golden era came in 1970, when Chevrolet unleashed the Chevelle SS 454. Buyers could choose between the LS5, rated at 360 horsepower, or the now legendary LS6 version, which packed a staggering 450 horsepower, making it one of the most powerful factory cars of its time. The Chevelle SS 454 LS6 was a beast, capable of running low 13-second quarter-mile times straight from the showroom floor. Its aggressive cowl induction hood, muscular lines, and dual racing stripes gave an intimidating presence that perfectly matched its performance. Car enthusiasts and drag racers hailed it as the ultimate muscle car, and even today it stands as one of the most iconic and sought-after classics. During this period, the Chevelle SS wasn't just transportation. It was a symbol of freedom, youth, and the thrill of the open road, embodying the very spirit of American muscle. As the 1970s arrived, the Chevelle SS stood at the peak of its glory, but the same forces that helped fuel the muscle car boom were beginning to work against it. The first blow came from insurance companies, which had grown increasingly wary of high-performance cars and the young drivers who bought them. Premiums skyrocketed for big block Chevelles, making them harder to justify for everyday buyers. At the same time, the federal government introduced new emissions regulations designed to reduce smog and pollution, forcing automakers like Chevrolet to detune their engines and add emissions equipment that sap performance. Horsepower ratings, once proudly displayed, began to plummet on paper. A car that once boasted over 400 horsepower was now officially listed with numbers far lower, diminishing its reputation in the eyes of enthusiasts. On top of that, the 1973 oil crisis hit America hard, making gas scarce and expensive. Suddenly, cars with giant V8s that guzzle fuel at alarming rates no longer looked practical, and buyers began shifting to smaller, more economical vehicles. In 1973, Chevrolet redesigned the Chevelle with a bulkier, more squared-off look that followed federal crash safety standards, but sacrificed much of the sleek, aggressive styling that had defined the earlier SS models. The redesign included heavier bodies, larger bumpers, and more restrained lines, which dulled the once menacing presence of the car. Performance options were still available, but they no longer packed the same punch, and even the SS badge itself started to lose meaning. By the mid-1970s, the SS had been watered down into more of a trim or appearance package rather than a true muscle machine. It could be ordered with small block engines or even V6S, which was unthinkable just a few years earlier, when the SS name symbolized raw power. This shift frustrated die-hard enthusiasts, but reflected the reality of the era. Chevrolet had to build cars that could meet government standards and survive in a market where fuel efficiency and affordability had taken priority over performance. By 1977, the writing was on the wall. The Chevelle nameplate itself was retired, and its place was taken by the Chevrolet Malibu, a smaller, lighter, and more economical car better suited to the changing times. The once feared Chevelle SS, a car that had roared down highways and drag strips as a symbol of American muscle, was gone. Its disappearance mirrored the broader decline of the muscle car era. Virtually every automaker that had once thrived in the horsepower wars of the 1960s was forced to downsize, detune, or discontinue their high-performance models. For enthusiasts who had grown up in the golden age, this period was heartbreaking. It felt like the spirit of freedom, rebellion, and sheer power that cars like the Chevelle SS had embodied was being legislated and regulated out of existence. What was once a roaring beast of the road had become a shadow of its former self, marking the end of an unforgettable chapter in automotive history. Although the Chevelle SS nameplate disappeared after 1977, its story did not end there. It only shifted into a new chapter defined by nostalgia, reverence, and cultural immortality. As the 1980s and 1990s unfolded, the cars of the muscle era, once seen as outdated gas guzzlers, began to be reappraised by enthusiasts and collectors who recognized their historical significance. The Chevelle SS, particularly the late 60s and 1970 models, emerged as one of the crown jewels of the classic muscle car scene. At car shows, drag strips, and auctions, the Chevelle SS became a centerpiece, admired for its raw simplicity and power that no modern car of the time could replicate. The 1970 Chevelle SS 454 LS6, once just another option on a dealer's lot, became a legendary artifact, with pristine examples commanding six-figure prices at prestigious auctions. Even drivers who had never lived through the muscle car era came to know the Chevelle SS through pop culture. Its aggressive stance and thunderous sound appeared in movies, TV shows, and magazines, keeping its image alive for generations that had never seen one brand new. During the 2000s and beyond, the Chevelle SS became not only a collector's item, but also a symbol of the bygone era when performance cars were raw, mechanical, and unapologetically powerful. Unlike modern performance cars filled with electronics, the Chevelle SS represented a time when driving was visceral, where every press of the accelerator connected directly to a roaring big block engine. Restomod culture also breathed new life into these machines, as enthusiasts began restoring classic Chevelles, but upgrading them with modern suspension, brakes, and even fuel-injected engines, creating the perfect blend of old-school style and modern reliability. Meanwhile, Chevrolet continued to capitalize on the SS heritage through other models like the Camaro SS, Impala SS, and even the Australian-imported Chevy SS sedan, but none carried quite the same weight as the Chevelle. There were rumors and fan concepts of Chevelle revival, and while Chevrolet has never officially brought the name back, the mere idea of a modern Chevelle SS stirs excitement among enthusiasts and sparks debates about how it could be reimagined in today's market. Today, the Chevelle SS lives on as one of the most iconic and celebrated American muscle cars ever built. Its reputation has only grown stronger with time, as it represents not just a car, but an entire movement in automotive history. For collectors, owning a Chevelle SS is like holding a piece of American heritage, a reminder of the glory days of Detroit muscle. For casual fans, it's a dream car that embodies everything bold and rebellious about the 1960s and 70s car culture. And for the automotive industry, it's a benchmark, often cited as one of the greatest muscle cars of all time. Even though the Chevelle SS no longer rolls off assembly lines, it continues to thunder down streets and racetracks in the hands of enthusiasts, ensuring that its roar is never silenced. The car's enduring legacy proves that while regulations and market changes may have ended production, the spirit of Chevelle SS remains immortal, a symbol of raw power, style, and the unbreakable bond between man, machine, and the open road.